Wooks and Warlocks contains sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and as such is intended for adults. Listener discretion is advised. Content warning can be found in the description. Rawr.
Penelope here, Penelope there. Looks like it's Penelope squared, as the time boggle brought a horrible hag's lair and a fanciful fairy dragon's fair to the same spring-fed rock quarry watering hole in 1969. The gang's gotta get the van fixed and help set things right for the Fae before they can move on down the road in the world of Wooks and Warlocks.
Hello and welcome to Wooks and Warlocks, a role-playing tour through the summer of love. In this podcast, we will be playing out a story of adventure and magic using dice and skills to determine the outcomes of our actions. My name is Trey Miller, and I will play the role of Game Master for this journey. I am joined by three of the finest folks to roll the dice. Please introduce yourselves and your characters.
My name's Anthony. I'll be playing Xzzantor, the Bugfolk Ranger.
My name is Jessie. I will be playing Granny Glenda, the half-fox folk rogue.
My name's John. I will be playing Elijah Woodstone, the enlightened farm wizard. Elk folk.
When we last left our adventuring party, they had stumbled into some sort of nexus of worlds in the guise of a rock quarry filled with natural spring water. Brought there by the unassuming elderly human Penelope, the group soon discovered that Penelope was actually a bloodthirsty hag. Were it not for the intercession of kindly mushroom folk and their rapport spores, the party might have remained in the dark about the truth of this mixing of worlds. Instead, they were filled with first-hand knowledge of this bubble, or should we say, these two bubbles, appearing in the summer of love in 1969 loomed, near the same time that Granny Glenda, Elijah Woodstone, and Xzzantor popped into their future, current present. Queen of the Quarry, Penelope, was displaced by the hag, Penelope. And the two fight for influence over this domain. Penelope was trapped inside the hag's lair, which was once her own house. Penelope, the queen of the quarry, was nowhere to be found until the party searched through darkness and despair to find a rocking chest in the back of the hag's house. They opened the box, much to their own risk, and it was, in fact, the queen of the quarry, Penelope, who stood to her full height, only to be immediately assailed by the terrified, reaction-prone Elijah Woodstone, who had readied a sleep dart. Elijah Woodstone, why don't you go ahead and roll for attack with advantage to see if you hit the flanked Penelope.
Like, as soon as I saw movement out of that chest, I panicked and just flung a dart.
No! Xzzantor yells.
Natural 20. Didn't even need the advantage.
You can't write this stuff, folks. The dice just love a good drama. And as Penelope stands, her shimmering purple and silver eyes taking in her rescuers. Elijah, like a deer in the headlights, spooked, has no choice but to jolt into a form of action, releasing the dart that lands right in her neck.
Oh my god, guys.
Oh, wow. And she falls.
Xzzantor,
Xzzantor, make a dexterity saving throw
There
to
you
see if
go.
you're able to catch her out of the air.
Wants to try that backflip. Wants to try to catch her with a 19. He leaps into action, and like before she hits the ground, he like uses his top two arms to prevent her from falling.
As she drifts into a comfortable sleep, you hold her nestled in your arms, and she smiles. My hero. And her eyes close. Boots leaps into your arms and her arms.
I kept her safe for you. What? Meow. Tell me about this hag. Tell me about the creature that's infested your beautiful property.
Are you speaking to Penelope?
Yeah.
She's sleeping in your arms.
Okay.
And she's just...
Oh, she's out like a light, man. She's gonna be out for like an hour or so, I think.
Oh, this stuff.
She snores lightly.
I really did not mean to dart our gracious host. I just really thought that was gonna be something bad by the way that chest was violently rocking like that.
So he stands up, he's holding her and stuff, and he like just turns to the room and is like, where to next?
As you turn to look, what little light exists in this room is cast into shadow. And you see an invisible form turn solid. And 2 jars of fluid are sent crashing onto the ground.
Oh, little flower, forgot about me, did you?
A bolt of fire escapes her crone-like hands, the claws, sending it at a point to land in the middle of the splashed mess of viscous oil, and the room begins to catch fire. The hag, Penelope, disappears, turning invisible again, disappearing into the darkness.
Oh man, what are we gonna do?
We gotta get out of here. We gotta go.
Smoke's filling the
Water.
room.
Does anybody do water?
I can control these flames. I'm gonna wave my hands in a sort of motion and use control flames, which it can control a 5-foot cube, but I'm gonna basically like create a hole in the flames for us to go through.
That's it's kind of like cutting like a parting of the Red Sea sort of thing. You're like, you make a path that can be walked through safely. Penelope is fast asleep.
Xzzantor's carrying her.
So you're going to be moving at half movement speed as you carry her prone form. The room is rapidly filling with smoke, and when you reach the door, which is about 15 feet away from the back of the room where you were with Penelope, you find it slams shut from the outside and locks. You have 1 turn to attempt to unlock this door.
Is it the same room with the hole in the ground, or?
You are not in the room with the hole in the ground. The just to review, the cabin is L-shaped, and it has a long hallway that leads to the foyer and to the front door. You are on, and it is 2-story. You are on the bottom story, and at the end of that long hallway, there is a room on the right. You are in that back room where there is a dining table covered in moldy food and fungus, and the room itself is filled with disgusting, distorted art and fleshy hag decorations.
Granny Glenda is gonna attempt to lockpick the door.
Go ahead.
Come on, something good. Okay, that's 16 plus 9, which is 25.
The door clicks open and swings open to the outside. The magical darkness that previously occupied the room is now gone, and you can see as though it were dim light in the room in front of you. Granny Glenda, with your dark vision, you can see clearly in this room. You see that there are two of those illusory, distorted infants haunting the room. You are, if you do not have dark vision, you're unable to see this.
I'm gonna go ahead and toss my darts at him, probably.
Okie dokie, let's roll. You have one attack per round,
Okay.
so you can roll one attack and take out one of them.
Could you bonus action attack as a rogue?
If she has an offhand weapon equipped, she can bonus action attack. She cannot. I don't believe she can bonus action
Natural
throw.
20.
So your dart, with a natural 20, will say that you manage to toss the dart and you move so that you can hit both of these infants. Starting with one close to your hand, you throw right through its form to pierce the other to the wall. Of course, it dissipates before anything actually connects, and you hear a laughing sound coming from upstairs.
Perhaps we should go and... I would say we should go investigate that laugh, but with the building being
The house
on
is
fire,
burning, yeah.
we should escape here as soon as possible.
Do you approach the door?
Does it look like there's any, reading material worth saving we can grab real quick?
Xzzantor would be pushing out ahead, trying to get Penelope out. His intention is to get her back into the van safely. And
So
come back.
Xzzantor is moving slowly towards the door and manages to make it to the door, while Elijah Woodstone is looking around for reading material. Roll for perception, Elijah.
12. It's dark.
With your 12, you see a note pinned to the wall that says, "Don't forget to alphabetize the upstairs scroll library."
I'm running upstairs.
Xzzantor, with Penelope in your arms, you attempt to push on the door, and as you push, all you can hear is that same cackling laughter as the door is once more arcane locked and does not open to your push.
Granny Glenda's gonna go and help him out.
Sure, so
seeing
you guys
that
are both
happen.
pushing against the door?
I'm gonna try to lockpick it.
Okay, go ahead.
He would probably he's in a panic. He would probably try to shoot it with his crossbow bolt or kick it or something.
That's gonna be a 21.
Your thieves' tools fish around for any sort of lock mechanism, but it is as though the lock that you're familiar with is gone. There is no lock mechanism. This is strictly magic holding this door shut at this point. Xzzantor, you beat against the door, you kick it, you shoot at it with your free hands, you menace this door to no avail, though it splinters. It is as though it is never deteriorating. Elijah, you rush up the ladder.
Do I notice them fail at the door?
Roll for perception.
He's looking for a safe place to set her down, and he knows there's no
19.
safe place in a burning
Yes,
building.
you do. And that's the conundrum that Xzzantor has, is that the bottom story is beginning to catch flame. The outside walls of the house are on fire, and it is creeping towards you. The floor is burning, and you know it is not safe to go back the way you came, only up or to exit.
He would try to toss Penelope to Elijah once Elijah got up the
I'm gonna
ladder.
I got you. I'm gonna use my last level 2 spell slot and hit knock on that door in front of you and bust it open for you.
That was always an option. I didn't think you would take it, but yeah. So, you
You see us all beating on it, right?
Yeah, and Xzzantor, you're so caught up with beating on this door that you don't notice Elijah turn to cast this spell, and you hit it one final time, and it bursts open, and it is as though your might has broken this magical incantation.
Good job, Xzzantor.
Smoke pours out, and you hear the Happy Tricksters in the distance, engaged in some sort of altercation.
He sets Penelope down in a safe place. Maybe if there's like some kind of grove or some kind of place that's away from the, far enough from the burning building, and then rushes back in. Do
you like hide her? Do you like cover her with anything, or do you?
Honestly, he would try to get to the van, but if the van's like too far away or something, he
the
wouldn't.
The van is about 20 feet from the door. The van's actually pretty close to the cabin.
He'd put her in the van.
Everyone else is in the warehouse.
Yeah, so he tried to lay her in like one of the cabin seats in the van and like go back into the house, or at least to the door, and like holler for Elijah and like,
All right,
you okay?
So you set Penelope in the van, and you're gonna go back to the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okie
And then
dokie. And Granny Glenda, there is a commotion coming from the Happy Tricksters in the distance. Xzzantor has stored Penelope safely in the van and is checking on Elijah Woodstone. What's your move?
So, yeah, Granny Glenda will probably suggest to, call back into the inside of the house, like, I'm going to check out what that commotion is with our traveling companions, and I suggest you guys would do the same whenever you're finished up, and she's going to head towards the Happy Tricksters.
All right, so Granny Glenda moves towards the garage. Elijah and Xzzantor. Xzzantor, do you go in the house after Elijah? Elijah is looking for...
I would have been up the ladder at this point.
You're looking for the upstairs library.
Yeah, the scroll
library.
at the base of the ladder and like relaying what Granny told is saying. I'd be relaying that up the ladder to
Are there
Elijah.
any windows upstairs?
There are no windows. You're upstairs as well?
No, I'm at the base of the ladder hollering what Glenda was saying up. We're relaying.
You're relaying, yeah.
Yeah. And I have dark vision, so he's kind of comfortable in there. He's like...
The building is slowly catching on fire.
Yeah.
It's filled with smoke.
Doesn't like that.
But the air is still relatively clean upstairs.
Elijah, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here, man.
There's important reading material in here.
It's not the time to be reading. The freaking cottage is burning to the ground. Granny's leaving. There's all kind of...
I'm gonna take them.
Go, hurry up. And he's like...
Roll investigation to search through the upstairs for the scroll library.
11 for the first try.
Yeah, with your 11, you notice that there is a door in the back directly above the room. You see nothing that looks like an organized scroll library here, but there is a door. You sense quite a bit of heat coming off the door, and you notice a sign that is beginning to sort of steam, but it's a wood sign that's engraved, and it does say library.
I'm gonna run right through the door.
You're gonna run through the door.
Yeah.
Roll a strength check or athletics.
Full speed right at this door. Oh my god, that's terrible. I don't even think that's gonna matter. Athletics. Sorry. Oh no, a 6.
So with your 6, you ram your shoulder into the door, and a bit of your horns hit into the door, and it knocks the hinges just so that a bit of oxygen can get into the room directly above the fire, the room that has been burning. And a backdraft blows the door open, and a plume of flame singes you. You're going to need to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, you want a shield?
I don't know if it would help because it's not really an attack.
It's not an attack.
Yeah,
It was going to be a saving throw.
But for I guess for
flavor.
For flavor, I think that shield would come up instinctually.
To try to prevent the fire from going into the room.
Oh, like it's blowing me up.
Yeah, he's doing a dex saving throw.
Like it's like shield's a reaction, so it'd be like an instinct and like a little magical shield.
Do you think Xzzantor notices this going on?
You're still downstairs.
He's
right?
hollering full
You probably would have
time.
sensed an explosion.
You heard the explosion for sure.
Okay.
And what was that check? A dex, you said?
Dex saving throw.
He's scurrying up the ladder to detect this.
Oh, nice. 19.
All right, so you're going to take half damage. Oh my goodness. I rolled 3d8, and I rolled 1s on all 3d8,
Nice.
and you're going to take half damage on
Shield,
that.
baby.
So you take 2 damage from this backdraft, and as you look up, make a perception check to
I just looked up.
to see into the room. Elijah is blasted onto his
17.
back and looks up, his eyes clearing, the tears dissipating from his eyes.
God damn.
You see the library is burning and that the shelves have gone inflamed.
Control flames to put the flames out.
You are able to put out the flames on one section of the library, and that section is the letter E.
I'm going to grab whatever I can and just stuff it into my shirt.
The building is burning around you, and you have about 10 seconds to escape before the frame collapses.
Is there I'm on I went up the ladder, so I'm on like a platform that's kind of overlooking the downstairs room.
It's not a loft. This is a full upstairs.
So the ladder, I went through like a hole.
Yeah,
in
you
the
went
floor.
through like an attic-like hole in the floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And there's
okay.
no windows in here.
There's no windows.
Well, I
This
guess
is
I got to
very layer-like.
make my way back down that ladder. Is the only thing I can
Xzzantor
do.
wants to be up at the top of the ladder
Yeah,
hollering at you.
I'm gonna
telling you
run
to
and
get
slide
back.
to the hole, and then like try to just like fall down the ladder. I'm not even trying to climb down it.
I'm scurrying out of the way. I'm seeing this getting out of the way.
Roll a dexterity saving throw, both of you, to see if you crash into one another in your rapid escape.
Oh, nice. 13 plus
16.
4,
Yeah, so
17.
just as described, Xzzantor backflips away from the ladder as Elijah drops down to land superhero pose on the floor, sort of like fist on the ground,
just dash
other
out of
hand in
there.
the air, and you dash out with these scrolls. Do you you manage to escape the house as it collapses around you, and a horrid cackling pierces the air. You sense an evil magical presence envelop the area. While this is happening, Granny Glenda, you have returned to the garage to find your companions are being accosted by 2 red caps and another small fey creature that you do not recognize. And it is holding a red stick with a rope coming out of it.
What did you do with her, you motherfuckers? You're gonna give Penelope back and you're gonna put that bitch in her place. And I am talking about 2 different ones. I guess that needs to be made clear. Where is she?
I dare say I don't. They went to go rescue her. I'm certain that something soon will come of it. Oh, look, here's Granny Glenda. Surely she has word, for you.
Well, we haven't really seen her around at all, and I honestly, she just kind of disappeared once she showed us inside, and I haven't really seen her since.
Are you talking about our Penelope or the evil Penelope?
Which Penelope are you talking about, friend?
I don't think you guys aren't back here yet.
Oh, it didn't run out? Oh, okay.
This is simultaneously. She walked away while you guys were all in
realized they're over
there.
by the shed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
my bad.
Well, I would like to know which one you are talking about. There's two of them, and I don't know what's going on.
If you don't tell us where the fuck Fairy Queen Penelope is, and where that fucking hag Penelope is, we're gonna start some shit.
Can I roll for insight to see if they really are on the...
Yes, yeah, totally. And you see the one that's talking is the one holding the red stick with the rope coming out of it, and he is tapping his ironclad foot impatiently. Roll for insight.
I imagine Xzzantor would be telling Elijah, about the real Penelope, the princess or whatever. I said the fairy one being in the van and stuff. So we might be discussing that, on our way back to the van.
That's a 15 for insight.
So with your 15, you are able to ascertain that these red caps are fey creatures, and they are very likely similar to, although they are much more gruff than the mushroom folk, they are similarly trying to aid Queen of the Quarry Penelope, and they are fighting against Hag Penelope, and this is supported by the fact that these are the creatures that ran you all down in the car. It was red caps who were initially trying to they were willing to fight and kill you to get to Hag Penelope.
Well, Sonnies, here's the deal. I'm not sure where your princess ended up, but, well, we freed her from this chest, and then, well, we accidentally put her to sleep, and we could really...
You did what?
Well, it all happened so fast, and there was nothing I could really do to stop it. I was very upset with the young gentleman that did it, but...
Roll for persuasion to see if you're convincing them with your explanation.
That's going to be a 25.
All right, so with your 25, they're nodding, and they're like...
All right, so you guys were tricked by the hag. Makes sense.
Yes.
And now that you're here, you're trying to save the other Penelope, our Penelope.
Yes.
Because the mushrooms told you to.
Yes, exactly.
All right, that checks out.
And as they're nodding and commiserating with you, Elijah Woodstone and Xzzantor approach.
Well, guys, no need to be hostile because these are my friends, and friends, well, these little mushroom people or whatever you are going to help us potentially fight this hag, right?
More mushroom people?
We're not mushroom people. We're red caps.
They're red caps, my bad.
Which queen do you represent? Which version of
That's
Penelope?
my line. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Who are you?
Connect with me. Xzzantor reaches out a finger to touch
The rapport spores from your mushroom friend on your shoulder connect you all, and the red caps sense what you're feeling, but you all also sense what the red caps are feeling, which is unbridled, unmanageable rage. They are violence incarnate in its most chaotic form, and they wish only to kill in defense of what they deem important in their chaotic minds, and what they love is the fairy queen of the quarry, Penelope.
Yes. Friend.
They sense your infatuation with Penelope.
She's the one in the van.
And because of your connection, they are able to sense immediately that you have stored her in the van.
Safely.
Well, cool. We're gonna go get her and get the fuck out of here.
No, we need your help with the
they
hag.
start to go move towards Penelope. Roll for persuasion to see if you've convinced them to help.
Look what the hag
please
did.
help us.
That house
Can
is
I
burnt to
also
a
help?
crisp.
The house is burning as you watch, and the red caps look at it and kind of shrug. Go, And
Please, take a minute. Speak with my companions. We've been through quite a bit to save the precious Penelope, queen of the Quarry. It's been a difficult task saving her from the hag, and we wish only to free you of this pain, the hag, and so we can go swimming. It's been a long day. And please speak with Elijah. Speak with Granny. I'm too worked up right now to.
What was your persuasion roll?
I was still looking for it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's horrible, so I'm like trying to dissuade her from like talking to me right now.
Granny
I'm,
Glenda,
acting worked up or whatever.
Please don't listen to this, jittery bug man. And why don't you come help us with the hag? Because she captured your lady and your queen in the box, and don't you want revenge for your queen? Oh god, that's gonna be an 11.
So you're talking to them about revenge, but they don't. There's something missing from your tone. But as Xzzantor attempts to dismiss them, thinking that he will not be convincing, there's something about the way that he speaks, and Xzzantor rolled a 19.
Yeah.
And as he attempts to dismiss and direct them towards the extremely violent Granny Glenda in hopes that her assassin swagger would sway the Redcaps to their side, they turn and look at Xzzantor, and you hear something in their voice.
I can tell from the spores. You really think you love her, don't you?
My spores and her spores spore well together, I think.
All right. Let's fuck up this hag.
And as you say that, a burst of fire and wind spins from the burning building as a broom shoots into the air, seemingly of its own accord. Whipping and flying around the quarry, you hear a laugh. You should have gotten away while you had the chance. Now it's my turn. And we're going to need everyone to roll for initiative, as she is going to cast Magic Missile at the party.
Xzzantor rolled a 14.
Dirty 20 for Granny Glenda.
Quick-ass reflexes, boy.
So for those initiative rolls, I'm going to ask for where you're at in the lineup so I can remember it. So who was anybody above a 20? All right, 15 to 20?
Granny Glenda was a 20.
10 to 15?
15 to 20?
Yeah, 15 to 20.
16. So right on.
Xzzantor got a 14.
14 for Xzzantor.
Drake Farkslot would also share his initiatives, is how that's listed as a companion. Now, he also has a little mushroom fella on his shoulder and a cat that could be in theory with him still.
We're going to say that you're only going to be allowed to use an initiative action for one of your little friends, and the mushroom person is going to need some more time bonding with you to be able to use his abilities in combat. They're an inherently passive species, and so they would not be likely to engage in combat unless you were seen as a spore friend.
He probably would crawl up under one of the little armor pieces or something, try to hide and poke his cute little head out from time to time.
All right, so I'm going to roll en masse for our large group of NPCs, and we're just going to give one of them an action per round, sort of to make it so that we're not overwhelmed by NPC actions. Our NPCs will be acting second.
Do we need to do any kind of perception checks to see like what enemies are on the field currently?
I think it's
No,
just the hag.
the only enemy is the hag. Well, currently all you can see is a broom flying around the area, and you can hear the cackling of the hag, but you cannot see her on the broom. Granny Glenda. Everyone in the party is going to take 1d4 damage as you are hit with a magic missile, or 1d4 plus 1. That's going to be 4 damage each.
Whoa.
So
Each of us take 4?
Each of you take 4 from the magic missile.
Are they appearing to be launching out of the broom? Or
They
just
are
out of-
appearing to be launching out of the broom, and as the magic missiles fly, you see the hag, hefty and grotesque, with mold and leeches coming off of her form, ripped skin, eyes black as night, her hair a matted mess on top of her head, shadowed by the afternoon sun, her invisibility broken by her use of magic. Granny Glenda, it is your turn.
Yeah, so Granny Glenda is going to throw one of the darts just at the broomstick.
She's at the broomstick itself. She's visible.
Is she visible now?
Yeah, she's
okay,
visible.
then yeah, I'll throw the dart at her then. Let's see. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, that hits big time.
Sweet. 624 plus 5. So that's going to be 8 damage.
Alrighty. The group of happy tricksters in the garage see that battle has begun. King Kenzie says, "Oh, you are all you're not well. I'll see to that." And he is going to cast a healing word at the 2nd level on Elijah Woodstone.
Thank goodness. I was bleeding.
So you're going to heal for 11 damage.
Nice.
It is now Elijah's turn.
Alright, shake off them wounds. Oh man. Let's see, where am I? How far away is the hag?
So the hag is flying around. She is roughly 10 feet in the air and about 30 feet from the edge of the quarry and the 30 feet from the garage where the happy tricksters are gathered. Elijah Woodstone is on the path roughly in between the garage and the flying hag, about 15 feet away.
Alright, shit. I'm gonna attempt,
If you would like to take a moment to take a look at any of those scrolls that you got, just a
Yeah, that's
reminder
not
that
a
you
bad
have
idea.
those.
but I don't know, it might take me a little while to copy it. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to, bonus action and cast Dragon's Breath on myself. And then I'm going to, cast it in the form of lightning damage, so then I'll use my action to burst a 15-foot cone in her direction of
Alright.
lightning.
So she is at the tail end of that. Do you move forward, or are you just gonna?
I'll scoot in to where, I'll scoot in a little bit to where it'll blast her real good.
All right. She rolls a dexterity saving throw, and it rolls a natural 1.
Nice. So yeah, you see like Elijah's horns. In between his horns, like electricity starts like, and then just like blasts like a cone. Because you know it's his breath like as well, like it's a breath attack, but it comes from his horns, and then his eyes glow, and then out of his mouth opens, it just like fires like a Godzilla type cone of electricity at the hag.
All right, give us some damage. She, shocked, clings to her broom for dear life.
Oh shit! I've screwed up. I can't do that. I don't have the spell slot for it.
Is it a 2nd level spell?
Yep, and I used it for the 2nd knock. That's my bad. Never mind. That does rewind. That does not happen.
All right.
I'm just gonna try to throw a sleeping dart at her.
Okie dokie. I will give you a little bit of insight into your own knowledge of sleep darts. Sleep is going to put a certain amount of HP to sleep, and so she is at nearly full. This battle has just started, and sleep darts
gotcha.
put a very small amount of HP to sleep.
I don't think I can reach her with an attack. You said she's like 10 feet in the air.
She is about 10 feet in the air. You would not be able to reach her with your horns. You do have normal darts, and you have those scrolls.
I'll just hit her with a normal dart then. We'll go with that.
Okie dokie.
You gotta look at the scroll.
I want to look at them, but it takes time unless
That's a free action. You can holler at him, I think.
I'm close to her right now. I'm gonna throw a dart. Dirty 20.
Alrighty. Your dart goes flying through the air. Give us some damage.
Alright. 3 plus 4, 7 points of damage.
Alright.
Dang, I forgot about that spell slot. That rough.
That's sad.
Okie dokie. It is now the hag Penelope's turn. And in her rage, she will fly around the group. And she is going to swipe with her claws at the person closest to her, her attacker, Elijah Woodstone. Does a 15 hit Elijah Woodstone?
It does, but my shield will make it not. So, magic
So
shield.
as her claws sink down, sure to pierce your elk hide.
You just see from the talisman, just like an aura comes out in front of me, and just like a transparent blue.
You're going to
shield.
regret that, flower. And she turns invisible. You see the broom drop to the ground. It is now Xzzantor's turn.
Well, that kind of blows Xzzantor's whole plan out of the water. He was going to jump up and try to grab her off the broom, but now the broom has just dropped. So Xzzantor's quickly trying to think on his feet. Penelope's safe in the van. He looks down at Drake Farkslot, and he's like, well, he wants her to flight, but there's nothing. Okay, so she just poofed. He's assuming she's still there in that same spot that she was. So he's just going to, like, jump through the air and, like, try to grab that spot. And he's going to, like, draconically communicate to Farkslot to, like, go, to flank that spot. So he would try to put Farkslot, like, around.
So to understand, just to kind of visualize it, you guys
do a dash.
You guys are at the garage, and you're on that path near where you're on that path near where Elijah Woodstone was, and you saw the hag turn invisible. The broom fell to the ground, and you're going to jump at the spot she was, and you're going to have Drake jump next to the spot where she was in a sort of flanking fashion, going over Elijah Woodstone or around Elijah Woodstone.
Yeah, he tried to if
All right,
he can
so-
also grab the broom, like he's trying to do all of this in one movement.
Great.
I don't know if he can.
Yeah. So you're just moving. A lot of this is just movement, unless you're doing a jump action, which is a bonus action.
He would go up to the 10-foot area wherever she was. He would try to get up to that spot. Where
So you guys, you and Drake are both going to use a bonus action. It is an action to pick up that broom.
He definitely wants to do that.
Okie dokie. So you have picked up the broom, and you have that now. Roll a D100.
I'm envisioning him jump up in the air and then swing the broom around in the air, like sweeping for her.
So you pick up the broom first, and then jump where she was.
Run to the ground, grab the broom, jump up in the air, and do.
And Drake is also jumping around the air there.
You got an 81 on the D1.
All right. So this was sort of a 50-50 thing to see whether it was you or Drake who hit the hag. And as you sweep and flail wildly in the air with your broom, hitting nothing, Drake thuds thickly into the hag. She is still invisible, but Drake is able to discern that he has run into the fleshy form of this bog witch.
Are we still sharing thoughts right now? Because he's near me and that spore thing is happening?
I thought so as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So in your head, you see in my head that Drake, you see an image of Drake jumping onto her and just latching on
He's
to her
way ahead of
with
you.
his teeth.
He
and then
wants
now
to
we can
test.
see he can be like a tail on her.
He's trying to test his acid bite. He's been trying to do this since day one. Ever since his fangs came in, he's been
Hold on,
dying to drip them into an old hag. This is something he's been wanting to try.
So I with that in mind, I hate to tell you, because she's invisible, it's going to have to be at disadvantage, but go ahead and give it a try.
Okay, yeah. He's
Disadvantage attack?
let's see, and that's just I think it's my normal attack, my normal melee attack. Oh baby, 23.
One more time.
Oh, with disadvantage. Yeah. 23.
Nice.
Hey!
Love to see it.
But the damage is only 4, which makes sense because he's a baby little cutesy pie.
Okay, so does baby little cutesy pie attempt to stay attached, or is he biting and letting go?
Well, I tell you, it's an infused bite. So he's would probably attempt to be staying attached. If I know my boy, he's trying.
So let's roll
to...
a grapple check.
Okay.
That's a contested athletics roll, and the hag rolled a natural 1. So as long as you don't roll a natural 1,
Nope. 7.
all right. Your 7 succeeds, and with his tiny little baby Drake teeth, he bites onto the invisible form of the hag and stays latched on, acting as a tag to show you where she is.
With an extra 1d6 of damage for the acid bite.
Alrighty.
2.
Nice. That's awesome.
So she is taking some damage, but she looks no worse for wear. In fact, seems primarily angered. She's...
Yep. He's so happy about that.
Shoot for the little dragon, just don't hit it. Hit next to it.
Granny Glenda, it's your turn.
So, where is the hag now? As far as is she floating in the air? Is she on the ground?
You can see that Drake Farkslot has bitten onto something that is, just to the side of Elijah Woodstone on the ground, about 10 feet from the van, 20 feet from the garage, and about 30 feet from the edge of the quarry. Granny Glenda is roughly 25 feet from the hag that's been bitten by Drake.
Okay, she's gonna get up from behind her and stab her with the sewing needles.
Okie dokie.
Does a 18 hit?
That is her AC.
Oh, yay!
Nice. Get a little sneak attack there.
Yeah, let me go ahead and roll
See
for
little
both.
Granny like running up behind her and just
And does a 17. Oh, 17 does not hit for that.
And forgive me, I said that is her AC. I'm looking down here. Her AC is 17. So
Oh,
17 will hit
One
as well.
over.
yay!
Nice.
Awesome.
I didn't make that up. You can look up the stat.
Okay, so that's gonna be 8 damage for the first attack. Oh, and I gotta add the sneak
working
attack.
her.
And
The sneak
then-
attack's only going to apply to one of those hits.
Yeah.
The offhand attack does not get sneak attack damage.
Yeah,
And I believe it doesn't get your dexterity bonus either.
it doesn't.
Just a flat D6.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a 1. So that's 10 damage so far. And then the sneak attack is 2d6. That's 5. And 6. So it's 16 damage total
All right.
with my
No
knitting
surprise
needles.
here. Granny Glenda has taken the biggest hit. It is an old lady slugfest as Granny Glenda and Penelope dig into one another. It is now the gathered Happy Tricksters and Redcap's turns. We're going to send the Blast Cap in, and without any regard to the gathered individuals, he is going to light one of his sticks of dynamite and toss it at the invisible form. Everyone's going to need to make a dexterity saving throw, as this explosion has a 10-foot radius and is big enough to hit everyone who is kind of gathered around the invisible form of the hag.
Granny, Xzzantor, and Eli are all like right around this hag, like 5 feet. We're surrounding her, and we're about to get blown up by dynamite.
They don't even know their goddess is over in the van, like 30 feet away.
Oh my god!
Xzzantor
Well, they-
got a 21.
They do know it.
Yeah,
they,
we told them. You told them that we had her safe.
They're just super
So that's why
violent.
they're helping
Just
us.
fucking little shit.
I got a 23.
Oh, nice, 22.
All right, so you all managed to save. I need Drake to also make this roll.
You said with a dex save?
It's a dex saving throw.
18.
All right, so everyone manages to save, and you're going to take 6 damage on a failed save, 3 damage on a success, and you feel that had you not been sturdy on your feet or quick with your reactions, you might have been blasted backwards, but you managed to keep your footing. It is now Elijah Woodstone's turn.
All right, so I'm gonna. Let's see. Did we? The only thing I have to go by as far as where she's at is just the dragon holding on, but I can kind of see where Granny made contact, stabbing.
She is now flanked by Granny Glenda, Xzzantor, and gripped by the dragon. It is fairly evident where she is.
Yeah, because
if
of
you're
where
going to be
Granny
making
is.
any sort of like a ranged attack, it'll still be at disadvantage. But
I was just gonna charge at her with my antlers.
then that'll work.
All right, I would like charge, like it run in between the dragon and Granny, who just like full run antlers down. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Right there. Oh man, fucking 9.
With your 9, well, you do have advantage
Oh,
because
because,
the flanking.
Flanking. Oh, that's much better. I think I still just missed 16. Just missed.
So you bend down and dash in, horns first, but although you are right on with where she is, you underestimate the true girthiness of this hag, and your horns sink into her plump flesh and bounce you backwards, as though you were but some little fly to be swatted away.
Girth respects girth.
The hag, you've all become quite an annoyance, you know. Looks around and says, not much else to do but feast. And we're going to need Drake to make a grapple check.
Would it be like a strength?
That's an athletics. It's a grapples are contested athletics.
18.
Unfortunately, that does not beat the hag's 19, and she is going to grab Drake in her hands and open wide her maw, and in one bite, swallow Drake Farkslot whole. In this moment, it appears as though she herself becomes engorged, pregnant with the life force she has just consumed. It is now Xzzantor's turn.
You horrible she-devil, I'm going to fucking destroy you! He says to her. And then he attempts to slice her stomach open with his glaive.
Emergency C-section.
He rolls a 1. It turns into a 12.
You have advantage.
Oh,
you have
God.
advantage.
You got hella fucking strength on this, too. He's, like, really, really mad. Well, not too mad. 13.
All right, so you slice with your glaive, and in your fury, you are unable to connect a hit. I should clarify, when she ate Drake Farkslot, Penelope the hag once more became visible. After Xzzantor's turn, it is Drake Farkslot's turn.
He would try to push her, if he could push her. Is she too
Oh,
big
with
to
your
push?
bonus action? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So, is that a strength check?
Yeah, you can make a strength
Try
check.
to push her and knock her over and, like, ideally stomp on her, but we'll get there. Strength. 9.
We'll make it a contested roll. She got an 8. So you manage to, although she's surrounded by your companions, she is knocked onto her bulbous back, and like a turtle turned on its tip, is flailing, reaching for the sun.
And then he'd move into a flanking spot, and that would end his turn.
It is Drake's turn, and Drake finds himself caught inside the womb of this fell creature. Although he cannot move and cannot see, he can still act.
Alright, try to do a biting attack. And it's a 20.
With his 20,
Natural or dirty?
Dirty.
with his 20, one tooth pierces the fleshy belly and feels the rush of outside air, bringing fresh oxygen into this chamber, only for a moment. Something coagulates, filling the hole, but you know she's vulnerable. Give us some damage.
5. Still a little fella.
And does that include any sort of draconic infusions from his, does he get that?
Does he get to use it every turn? Every bite, you think?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay. I was figuring because he's young, it's like maybe every 2 or 3 bites. So I don't think he like just injected some
You are
stuff.
certainly welcome. You know Drake better than I do.
I mean, he's trying. Let's roll a d6 and see what happens. It gives me one d6 of like acid damage. So 5. I mean, yeah.
So it
Let's
is.
hurt her.
It is. Although it is a parent's inclination to underestimate their children, and Xzzantor would imagine that Drake would not rip himself free from this prison, the festering wound that coagulated and filled when Drake bit through grows black as the acid weakens the womb of the hag. In addition to this damage, we will say that Drake has lowered the hag's AC by 2 points.
Yeah,
As
15.
the acid chomps from the inside out, like, oh god, I love this kid.
Granny Glenda, hag Penelope, lays on her back, flailing, her wounds festering.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut her starting at the spot with my knitting needle, starting at the spot. Can I see where the poison from the inside has started to...
Yeah, there's a very clear big black spot on her exposed pregnant belly.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start there and kind of like drag across, once again trying to help get...
Roll for
parts
attack.
of it.
You do have advantage.
Okay, so that is going to be a 17, which hits, and then with the offhand... That's also going to hit.
And you have
so
sneak attack
17.
damage because of the advantage.
Yeah. So 2 plus 5, so that's 7 damage plus 1, 8 damage.
You just give me the total damage.
Okay. 14 damage. Use that scroll, Elijah. You better at least look at it.
So as you slice across the belly of this hag, you deal enough damage to rip open a hole in the womb.
Yeah.
And Farkslot pokes his head through the sliced stomach of Penelope the hag, who shrieks and shudders, "You fuckers! This is going to be the end of you! I'm immortal, you know that. Everyone knows. We Fae cannot be defeated." Clearly, panic strikes her. The group around cheers as the NPCs believe that the fight is going your way. Elijah, it is your turn.
I just think the moment's too hot to be looking at reading things right now. I'm gonna get up and pull out my rope and attempt to hog tie her.
Alrighty. Let's make a... what skill would you like to use for hog tie?
Maybe like athletics.
I would imagine it would be athletics.
Yeah.
But
athletics.
and we'll call this a again. We're doing a lot of grappling. This will be a contested check, and she rolled very poorly.
Oh, I rolled very poorly.
You do have advantage as she is on her back.
Oh, nice. Okay, forgot about that. Oh, that's better. 10.
She got a 9.
Oh my god.
So
I get up and I just like on the farm, go for her limbs and like we gotta subdue this, and, like wrap it around, bring it to the back of her leg, tie it to the back of her leg, and she's kind of like on her belly with like I only had enough to do like one arm to the back of her legs.
no. And she turns invisible as you're lashing her, but then turns visible again and then flashes in and out of appearance. There seems to be little she can do as she gnashes with her teeth and protests. "You, listen, all I wanted was a home. There's nothing wrong with wanting a home. Everyone needs a place to go. And I had no say over what happened to me. I had a safe little home in the woods where I would eat my children and make my children. And now little Auntie Penelope is some sort of a usurper. I just wanted a place to live. I didn't ask to come here. I'll make a deal with you if you
Shove
let
some
me
dirt in her
go.
mouth.
I'll make a deal.
Finish the
Don't you
hog
want
tie,
to make a deal?
Smack her in the butt and put my arms up and say time, like I was in a competition.
So she lies protesting on the floor, shouting her willingness to make a deal. But initiative has ended. The hag, defeated and tied on the floor, the red caps approach. Say, well,
we didn't help much, but we got one bomb off. Listen, we're gonna take Penelope and go. Like, that's what we said. Well, Well, I guess if you got rid of that hag, we can have our space back. We don't necessarily need to go anywhere. You guys should probably go, though. What are you guys doing here?
The red caps look to you and begin to march towards where they know their queen Penelope to be, while the hag protests, whines, and screams.
I'm going to be standing around Elijah, like, dealing with the hag, and then hollering at the tricksters that people are going to go mess with their van.
I'm immediately going to start searching the burnt rubble of the house to see if that, like, magical chest is still available and not burnt.
The hag's just lying there, right? She's not
tied
dead or
up
anything.
Momentarily.
I'm going to try to kill her, I think.
Oh, you're going to just murder her?
I would like to.
I was going to...
Roll a history check. Or an insight check. You as well, Xzzantor.
22.
Death check.
So with your... so we got... Elijah's got it. With his 22, Elijah, you know that when a hag is killed, they simply reincarnate. They have a place, and you have to destroy their heartstone in order to prevent their resurrection. So your idea to trap her in a chest is in line with your experience with hags, and you would know that if Xzzantor kills her, then she would simply reappear with a grudge against your group.
Xzzantor, I understand your hate right now, and it's completely legitimate. But this creature, I'm pretty sure, relates to a creature I've heard about in stories where, because they can summon into other people and sort of take them over, when you kill one, they just kind of come back as someone else. So you kind of be like freeing her by killing her. I think we should look for that magical chest and lock her inside for all eternity.
I just want to... I mean, we got her bound and gagged, if I'm not... I mean, she's... I just don't want her messing with us while we clean up around here. I don't mind helping clean up everything, but I want to make sure she's secure. Can we put her under a rock or something?
Well, she's tied up. I say one of us watch her. I'm going to go look for that chest.
I got
And
her.
then we put her in that chest and dump that son of a bitch in the quarry.
All right, so Elijah, you go to the burning house. It is mostly collapsed. Xzzantor is left with Penelope, the hag. Granny Glenda, what do you do?
Yeah, Granny Glenda's just gonna walk over to Penelope while they're deciding what to do and just kind of like, oh, sweetie, you look like you can use a cookie, and kind of feed her a cookie that is a sleep cookie.
The hag?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So those do a D10 to sleep. Is that what we said?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, let's roll a D10.
It's an 8.
So with an 8, her mumbled, angered, gagged, pleading begins to cease as she fades from consciousness. And frankly, you just saved Xzzantor from spending the next 30 seconds being tempted by the hag with devilish deals.
I'll just be molding her through the rubble. Trying to look for that.
So roll a investigation check.
Come on, baby.
Hey, Granny, you want to go check on Elijah? I think he went back in that burning house that's rubble mostly, but I don't know.
23.
Check on him?
So with your 23, as you dig through the rubble, you manage to find the box that previously contained Queen of the Quarry, Penelope, and you find a box containing potions and money. Do you open the box containing potions and do you take the money?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. We'll
There's
gather.
$350
Nice.
and 6 healing potions and 1 potion of invisibility. The magical chest and its lock appear to be unscathed by the fire.
So yeah, I'm gonna like first I guess just to carry it, I'll put the potions and the gold inside like the box, like still unlocked and open, like just carrying like a crate. And then when I get out, I'll unload that stuff, distribute everything.
Sure.
Equally.
Let me be clear for a second. Did you guys leave the hag and come back to the
No.
house?
No, I would pick up the hag. If you put her asleep, I'd grab her and throw her.
I
Oh,
would
okay. I
stay
thought you.
with
I thought.
her.
Okay, I thought you guys were coming over to Elijah. All right.
Well,
I went back. I kind of wasn't like inside, like it's rubble, so you just see me standing next to it and magic kind of happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then I filter, get the stuff, bring it over, make sure the lid stays open, and unload the stuff. I distribute potions and gold equally because that's what we do in a party. And then I'm gonna use y'all's help, and we're gonna attempt to shove this bitch in this box.
Yeah, if you're distributing it equally, that means that you'll each get $50.
Cool.
As the rest of the party members very gratefully accept the payment. Hey, appreciate it. You know, I've been buying you tacos for a week now.
any like health potions? Are you gonna hold those?
There were 6 health potions, and the other folks, he says he's distributing them equally, I believe, and the other party members don't need health potions. Those will go straight to you guys.
So we each get 2 health potions.
So the hag struggles against her bonds. Oh, she's sleeping.
Thank you.
The hag peacefully, almost adorably, were it not for her grotesque appearance, snores in the dirt.
We're gonna shove her in that box.
Yeah, without resistance because of Granny Glenda's poisoned cookie. You are able to put Penelope the hag in the magical box.
Reseal that lock, and I guess me and Xzzantor strength together to carry this thing and dump it into the quarry, so nobody has to see this thing ever again.
If you dump it into the quarry, won't she die and then just come back to life again?
I don't know. Is this maybe?
She's squished in a box. Is she?
Roll-
She's not dead now, right? Like,
Roll Arcana.
8.
Mine's not gonna be good. Oh, 18. Better than I
Nice.
thought.
You know, a little magic.
So as
Minus
you
one.
suggest that as you suggest that were you to throw it in, she might die. You think to take a look at the box, Xzzantor, as well, and you realize that although the box has an almost mundane appearance to it, when you look into the box when it is closed, it is as though it is an empty box. It is a cracked old wooden chest, much like a pirate's booty box. And in between the holes, you can see to the floor of the wooden chest. And with your limited knowledge of arcane, Granny Glenda and Xzzantor, you would recognize that this is sort of like a pocket dimension.
Maybe it will be fine at the bottom of the quarry.
I'm gonna write on it with my pen here. Do not open.
But all the words are spelled wrong.
Yeah,
right?
like different sizes. Like,
It's like the SpongeBob meme.
Okay. So we can keep this thing locked though, right? Until we want to open it. Like, okay, hear me out. Could this be a weapon
oh,
that we
I
could
hadn't
keep?
thought of that.
I don't know. We'd have to talk it over with the tricksters. I'm sure they probably don't want a magical chest full of an old hag in their van. But just putting it out there.
I mean, like, I kind of like where you're going with, like, we could, like, if it was like a bad group, we could like leave it at their doorstep, like Trojan style.
Open me. As soon as you said do not open, I was like, unless we want to.
I've seen that really cool prank. I think I saw some children do it when we came into town where they left something on fire on somebody's doorstep.
Talk about a bag of poo.
I didn't know what it was,
Bag of
but
poo.
it
Bag of
was
poo.
a bag of
I did a
poop.
lot of
So
that.
maybe we could use it for something like that.
I mean, it's definitely gonna mess up on us, and it's gonna not.
Let's put it in
Just
the
putting
hands
it
of the
out.
gods.
Just putting it out there.
load that fucker in the back of the van.
King, hey, come on. Hey, we got some questions
How
for
can
you.
I help? What is it?
So we stored we got the hag. She's safe. She's tucked away. We need to take her on the
Safe.
bus with us on the journey. Is that cool with you guys? You guys are chill, right?
Well, we're not one to turn down folks in need of a ride, but this seems a little far-fetched. I don't understand why you would want to bring such an evil character with you.
We plan to use it as a weapon on our enemies.
Well,
King.
have you seen that prank that the children do with
What prank?
With where they set the dog? I guess it's poop of some sort.
Oh, they set the bag on fire, and there's the lunch bag, and it's on fire, and they step on it, and they get poop on their shoe.
Yeah, and you knock on the door. So we're thinking.
Well, as the Happy
similar.
Tricksters, we're very fond of pranks. I mean, that's a reasonable argument to make.
It's kind of like that mixed with like, it's not poo. It's more like a magical nuclear warhead of
Why don't
death.
you guys roll with persuasion? Roll persuasion with advantage, and I'll give you each a chance to convince him. So he really likes pranks, and while this is an inherently bad idea, he does think that the flaming bag of poop joke is very funny,
I do not persuade well.
Me neither. I got a 6.
I got a
even with
6.
advantage.
Oh, advantage. Come on, baby.
22.
Oh, nice.
So Granny Glenda, as the boys attempt to convince King Kenzie of the practicality of this plan, Granny Glenda, with doe-like fox eyes, stares up from her hunched posture into King Kenzie's eyes, and just mouths one word slowly.
I think he's ready for it. It's time for poop.
And King Kenzie doubles with laughter.
Why, I dare say a good prank is worth any risk. Throw her in the bus.
And he points to John and to Penny and instructs them to help you load this very heavy trunk into the van. And you see that the van sort of dips with the weight in the back. As you're loading the van, you see that the Redcaps have roused Penelope, Queen of the Quarry, from the back of the van and are gathered together off to the side of the van.
M'lady.
Oh, wow, it's my hero. I recognize you. You're the one who rescued me from that foul, violent elk. And she looks at Elijah and says, what would possess you to strike a woman?
Oh, he is a brute, isn't he? We're just taking out the trash. He's my friend. Elijah, why did you hit this princess of a queen?
Sorry, ma'am, you startled me, and kind of a reaction, but actually it was for your own safety and good. We were able to get your limp body out of there, and you didn't hurt yourself. You didn't fall down the stairs or the ladder.
Well, I suppose those things do happen, but I am rather capable of looking out for myself.
We had to get you out of the building, m'lady. Elijah aided in quite honestly, your saving of your life, to get you out of the burning building and the hag who had come in and invaded your lands, who we've now captured.
Oh, you're so right. Here I am focusing on the negatives like a little poisoned dart to my throat as soon as I wake from an eternal slumber. I should be more grateful.
A necessary thing, I assure you.
Well, I won't argue any further. The truth is that my friends here, I know they can be a bit gruff. I sure do love them, though. My friends seem to have taken a shining to you, and they said that even though you probably need to go, I should give you some sort of a reward. And, well, maybe you might even be due companionship. I do know that you guys might be able to use some of the things I have on your journey as we travel onward. Well, it's just that.
All I would like is your hand, m'lady. Please say no more. I'll be back after my journey. Just say you'll be mine.
She blushes. Oh my, you make a girl feel like a young lady. Would you roll for persuasion to see how swooning you are?
My goodness, I can't believe you're doing it.
And you're using a very rich tone, so you're welcome to advantage if it's needed.
Let's see.
If that mushroom thing's still on your shoulder and you can read my thoughts, there's some nasty visuals taking place.
Mine too,
Of
brother.
you two together. They
14.
are unescapable.
So with your 14, she chuckles and says, "Young man, you are just too kind." And she looks and says, "It seems that my boots has taken a liking to you, as well as one of those little friendly mushrooms."
I'll certainly take anything you can give us to aid our journey. It will be long and hard, but I will return for you.
Oh my! And you roll for persuasion again. Let's just see.
I'm also going to take a look at them scrolls.
No advantage this time. You're coming on a little strong.
I actually rolled performance and perception. But don't go with all those low numbers. They're 4s and 5s.
So she was at first charmed by your debonair approach, but it is clear that you're coming on a bit strong. Or it's clear to the others that you're coming on a bit strong, but Xzzantor might not realize it.
Definitely not.
She says, "Listen, I've got a few things I'd like to give you. Why don't you let your friends continue to... It looks like this hag sure has taken a lot of people for a ride. I don't know where any of these giant metallic skeletons have come from, but you're welcome to anything you find on them. And let me help you like this." And she's going to walk up and touch the hood ornament on the van. And she's going to enchant the hood ornament. Now that wicked hag, wherever she is, won't be able to track y'all down. And your van is now protected from magical scrying. It cannot be found by your enemies who are searching for you, and anyone inside the van now has that same protection from magical detection. She also is going to offer you choice from her personal wardrobe. I have taken many forms over the years, and sometimes I need nice tight-fitting garments, and other times I need a warrior's breastplate. So what I've got is some light, heavy, and medium armor, and also some clothing. Now, each of them have their properties. I don't know what kinds you guys like to wear, but I have plenty of nice clothes. And in exchange for this, not Granny Glenda.
Ma'am, I hope those clothes were in your garage.
She's going to turn and look at her house and say, "Oh my goodness, is that what's happened?" And she is going to turn back to the party and say, "Well, the thing is I keep most of my stuff here." And she's going to snap her fingers and open a portal to the Feywild.
Cool.
And you step into the Feywild, where you are in the largest closet you have ever seen. Any and every garment, style, and combination is available to you. And you find the freshest, hippest clothing and wear. You find bugfolk accessories that flaunt and vaunt the 1960s lifestyle. And you see simple, humble, elegant, hard-working clothing that any farm folk might be proud to represent. Whatever you could wish to change your style into to better match this time, you are welcome to do so. It looks like your friend's got a bit of a different style. I've collected clothes from all over time and space. Why don't you go ahead and pick whatever you want? So you guys can either pick it now or give some time to think about it, but one of your rewards for rescuing Penelope, the fairy dragon queen, is your choice of wardrobes for this modern era.
My companions, noble as they may be, may choose what they will, but I'll stick with my initial choice, Penelope, and I will return for you one day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some packing to do. And he tries to go back to packing the
Boots, why don't you keep an eye on him? He's a little weird. And she's going to send her cats Boots and let him go off with you. The clothing and light armor is standard clothing or light armor with the advantage that it gives you, or with the added benefit that it gives you advantage on stealth checks. The medium armor is AC 13 but has no dexterity limit, and the heavy armor is AC 16 plate that has no stealth disadvantage. So this is essentially very similar to what would classically be considered like elven armor.
Is there any sort of non-armor, like cape?
Yeah,
type
there's
thing?
there's
Like a
all
hooded
sorts of,
cape?
yeah, there's clothing of any variety, and if you choose the clothing, you're going to have advantage on your stealth checks.
Oh, nice.
So if you just wanted to like have like a cape that goes in addition to your normal stuff, how does the cape look?
Just like a simple black cape with a hood, but obviously the hood can't go over my head because my antlers.
So it's just
So
like
it's
a
just like-
vestigial hood?
Yeah, it's just like a magician's cape type thing.
Black on black, like the inside is black and the outside is black?
Yeah.
Cool.
Granny Glenda is going to grab a long light armor jacket that is like a red crushed velvet along with green crushed velvet. Like it's got red and green crushed velvet patches all over it. And it is like a full-length trench coat with buttons going all the way down.
In the pocket, she finds a pair of sunglasses that are big and round and polka-dotted red and green.
Yeah, she's going to put them on.
So, satisfied that you've been rewarded appropriately, Penelope is going to direct you to leave her pocket of the Feywild and return to the quarry. Now, y'all are welcome to stay here as long as you need to, but when it's time for getting on, it's time for getting on. So y'all don't be afraid to go ahead and leave. I'll get things fixed up here. This isn't the first time one of them mean old hags has messed with me.
Oh, ma'am, there is one more thing.
Well, how can I help you?
I was able to manage to save these here scrolls from your library before it burnt down.
My goodness.
I feel terrible taking them without your permission.
Oh, well, it seems the least I could do to allow you to have those scrolls. Let me see which ones you got. And she's going to reach and take the scrolls from you. She says, oh, look, you got my E section from the level 2 spells. You got Earthbind, Enhance Ability, and Enlarge Reduce. I tried to keep all my stuff alphabetized. It's hard to keep up with, but I swear I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached sometimes.
Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that. I'm really sorry about your house. I hope you're able to get it upright again.
You turn and look, and as you have been in the pocket dimension, the red caps and blast caps and mushroom folk have already begun rebuilding the structure. You see that they are using some sort of enhanced magics to quickly rebuild the walls. The white painted wood restored to full integrity as they simply beat and chisel with hammer, nail, and spike.
Well, now I've seen it all.
Things are kind of wild here in the Fey realms. You know how it is. And as you look at her, fairy wings sprout from her back, and she flits off to the newly formed balcony of her quickly rebuilding home. John Paul and Penny Lane, with the help of Owlsley and King Kenzie, spend the rest of the afternoon into the evening retrofitting the Happy Tricksters van with their new suspension and off-road tires. The van now an even greater monster than before, can easily drive through rugged off-road terrain. Night falls, and the stars are plentiful above the quarry. There's no telling what tomorrow will bring, but for tonight, at least, the party is able to take a well-earned rest. And we'll pick up there next time on the next thrilling adventure with Wooks and Warlocks.
Round and around in the tunnel when it's dark we go, searching through the rubble for what wants to spark like a shout in the night. And the sight of the past, it can fill us with fear all night, though we know the wheel comes back after time. Oh, sweet time. And the soul will rise from the ashes. We will climb as we shout into the night. Let no man mute my battle cry. Dark clouds brew in a storm deep in the sky. Words spoken in anger, vibrate like a neon sign in the mind's eye, multiplied by time and time again. It's those we love that we lose when we struggle with what's inside, just hoping for hope, something to ward off the fright. And the soul will rise from the ashes.